Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 17th of September. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, spring is here. The
finals.
show just keeps rolling on.
It's finals fever, Phil.
Are we talking grand final?
Well, we've got 4 teams left, haven't we? We've got
Yes.
Great Western,
Yep.
Richmond.
Great Western. Well, you think that it's a hotel chain, Great Western.
We've got Great Western, we've got Comfort Inns.
Great Western Sydney.
Great Western Sydney.
GWS.
GWS, Great Western.
Western.
We've got Great Western, we've got the Pies.
Yep.
We've got the Tigers.
Yep.
And I've forgotten the 4th team. How's it possible I've forgotten the 4th team?
Collingwood,
Geelong.
Richmond, Geelong.
The greatest team of all.
Yeah. It's easy to forget Geelong. It's that
Well,
provincial
they're a long way away.
Exactly.
Anyway, good luck to all the teams as they go into the big weekend to find out who's going to be in the grand final. Phil, how good would a Richmond Collingwood grand final be? I reckon that would be. So, no offence to Great Western can go away and wait their turn, whatever their name is.
Does anybody in Melbourne care?
Does
about
anybody in Sydney?
GWS?
Does anyone in Sydney care? They've got a team of 13,000 followers.
Can you imagine if GWS does get into the grand final? There's going to be this little triangle of GWS supporters, and then every single
I'll have to
other
fly them
person,
in for free. I reckon.
Everybody else at the grand final is going to be going for
whoever
that's not GWS.
Exactly right. Anyway, it's going to be very exciting for them to get the big final.
Having said that, Gary, of all of the team songs, how much do I like the GWS anthem?
It sounds like some. It sounds like some Cossack.
That's right.
It's dance.
No, it's the Cossacks come. They pillage. They rape. They burn the villages down.
And then GWS goes, "Yeah, we're going to sing to that song." What is that song? I don't understand.
Whoever got that through, it just goes to show how hopeless the AFL is. Because how did they ever get that anthem
Somebody
through?
must have paid them off or something. I got to say to you that
maybe it's owned by a Russian oligarch.
it could be. Maybe it is. Richmond's got the best song. Imagine those two go in the grand final when they play the song. Everyone will just be laughing at GWS.
And yellow and black. You know it's going to be if it's Collingwood and Richmond. It's going to be a bloodbath.
It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Melbourne will be never the same. No. But I think if Geelong's in, it'll be good. Anyway, it's going to be exciting. The grand final.
Whichever team wins, if it is Collingwood, Richmond, whichever team wins, the MCG is going to be crazy. It's going to the chairs are going to be ripped up.
It's going to be crazy. Anyway, very exciting. So congratulations to all those teams that are still in. And a bit of a sad moment to reflect on Danny Frawley, a client of our company, Philip.
Yes.
And Danny was a very, very nice guy who I had a number of dealings with, as you probably remember.
You did, Gary. I remember auctioning for him in Bundeera Road a back Villa unit, one of 4. And I'd never met Danny before, and I went to shake Danny's hand, and all of a sudden this massive bare hand just kind of wrapped up my hand. He had the biggest hands ever.
And he was there together with Stewart Lowe, I remember. He came to support him, but we sold that property to Danny. In fact, Harry Lustig, who is been with us for 25 years, a crazy security guy, actually drove to Ballarat to see Spud, as was his nickname. Went and saw him and signed him up for that purchase, which he bought. Then he bought it, and then a number of years later we sold it for him and Anita.
And I don't know whether you remember, but we were in Port Douglas together many, many years ago, and we ran into him and his family.
Gorge.
And he was just the most delightful bloke. And it just goes to show this whole "Are you okay" day. You just never know because I suppose unless you knew Danny, from an outsider's point of view, just this big lovable bear that seemed to be constantly laughing.
And even those that knew him, Philip, may not have known how bad he was suffering.
So
but
Are You Okay? Get behind Are You Okay Day, which has just passed, but next year, in fact, every day should be Are You Okay?
Exactly right. Anyway, condolences to the Frawley family because he was a really lovely guy, and I remember taking my nephew, also crazy St Kilda to the auction. He was so excited to meet him, and Danny was so generous. And he had that reputation. Now, it's good to be back on GPTV, but I've got to tell you, I watched you last week with Sally, and look, I couldn't see the screen that well because I had to keep clearing the vomit off the screen because I felt sick. Oh, Sally, you're the best anchor. Oh, Philip, I love. The mutual admiration. So give me a break.
Did you notice how beautifully it flowed and how there was just wonderful chemistry?
You're my favourite anchor, Sally. I hope Gary doesn't come back from his holiday.
There's a number of reasons she's my favourite anchor. Because
and you say wonderful things to make me feel good, Sally.
Firstly, she does a great job. Secondly, you know what her second most incredible attribute is? She's here.
Well, that's true too, I suppose. I can't argue with that anyway, Philip. Thanks for asking about America. It was actually wonderful. America is a very interesting place, Phil. People are very...
What did you learn? What did you learn on this fact-finding mission?
I still agree with what I've said. I'm going to stand by that. Australia has too many rules, and in fact, I spoke to a number of expats who were there, and they said, Australia, they've just got rules for everything. It's a nanny state,
nanny country,
a nanny country, and whatever you do in America,
so what are you referring to specifically?
America, you can just do whatever you want. Firstly, they're driving at 14 years old or 13, whatever it is. They're driving around, although they can't drink now. They've just brought in that you can't buy cigarettes unless you're 21. They just brought that in now in America.
You can't buy cigarettes till you're 21, but you can go into your local store, buy an assault rifle, walk into a McDonald's and just massacre people. That's okay, but cigarettes,
that's dangerous.
No.
Cigarettes are dangerous, Phil. The guns are okay. So they have got this.
Australia's got rules. You can't have a gun. You can't have an assault rifle. You can't shoot people.
And dope. You can't smoke dope in Australia. There, dope. We're at this function.
Dope. You're a 1970s bloke, aren't you? Dope.
Well, what would you like to refer to as Mr. Hip 2000s
all I know,
drug guy?
All I know is that for all our sub-40 viewers, they don't smoke dope.
No.
I don't know what they smoke, but it's not dope anymore.
I'll tell you what was interesting, Phil.
Tell me what's interesting.
You can smoke that stuff, in America now. And we're at this function, of course, in these beautiful gardens.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, in the middle of the function,
everybody started smoking dope.
No, but someone was smoking, I think, over the fence, and it wafts across the whole crowd. I'm not sure if it was by purposely done to get everyone in a good mood.
It was probably those big smoke machines.
It was. They were wafting it out, and all of a sudden, people started looking at each other and realised that we're all of a sudden got this passive dope.
One way to have a great party, isn't it?
It sure is, Phil. Anyway,
just out of interest, are you in favour of legalising marijuana?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Because I'm anti-drugs. I don't like the whole thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What about alcohol? Do you think that should be more limited?
I think it should be freely available to everybody wants. So there you go. It makes a lot of sense.
So somebody was having this argument the other day, to legalise or not to legalise.
Anything real estate going to happen?
No. To legalise or not to legalise. One of the things they talked about was the violence that's induced by alcohol. And they were saying, go to a pub, closing time, right? And people fall out onto the streets, vomit, and generally get into a fight, right? As opposed
maybe they just watch last week's GPTV, and
as opposed to people walking out from a party where everybody's had marijuana,
just walking in front of cars.
No, they're just pleasantly happy. No one ever had a fight as a result of getting stoned. Anyway, I'm not advocating drugs. I'm just bringing that up, just a casual observation.
That was it. Okay. I tell you what's interesting also in America. There's these streets, like we were invited to this, after party function.
After party,
and
so you were A-list after party, were you?
Well, I was invited to some. And the address was it's on Pacific Highway, but it was number 33,338 or something, right? So you get on the Pacific Highway, I think it must be around the corner. An hour later, you're still travelling down to Malibu to this party. But there's another street.
If the Hume Highway, if we had the American system and you lived on the Hume Highway all the way through to Sydney,
you'd have a number.
Sydney the last number.
They've got these massively long streets. It's like Melrose. Melrose.
I do know Melrose.
So we're in Melrose, right?
Melrose Place.
Beautiful boutiques, and it's beautiful Melrose Avenue.
Melrose Avenue.
It's beautiful boutiques and expensive, exquisite stores. So we're walking a bit more down Melrose, right?
Yes.
And before we know it, it's sort of changed a little bit. It's a bit more cool and a bit more. And then all of a sudden, there's this school, and it's a bit grungy. And then you get a bit further, and then all of a sudden, it's
a guy with a gun.
It's changed, and all of a sudden, someone's going, hey! There's people screaming, there's people walking, talking to themselves along the street. Everything's changed. It's like it's unbelievable.
America, a wonderful land full of contradictions.
It is,
Gary. Let's get back to more
diversity.
Local. Unless you're saying that you brought something back that we can use to make our business a better business.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry to say that I didn't. But that's a bit about that.
Okay,
anyway,
we searched the world in search of good ideas, and you had 10 days and got nothing.
And you know what the moral of the story
maybe
is?
Maybe we're just that good.
I didn't spend long enough there. That's it. I've got to go back.
Can we talk about real estate,
Let's talk about real estate, Philip.
Some interesting weekends.
Hey, what about some of the results? I mean, some of the results are so off the Richter scale.
Yes.
Sometimes I think that we're clueless. I think real estate agents are clueless. I think the heading of this show should be clueless agents, because sometimes I think we've just got no idea.
I want to talk about underquoting and link that into this, right? Because there is a popular misconception amongst consumers about what underquoting is. Because we had a property in Younger Avenue on the weekend where I think from memory the quote was 1.8 to 198.
Gil King wrote a good article about this. It's published in the Property Weekly last week. The Property Weekly. But go on.
Yeah. Anyway, 198 to 198. Yeah. We went on the market essentially at 198, and there will be some people who will walk away and go, "Those dirty, rotten scoundrels have underquoted," and yet we were on the market. The vendor declared their intention to sell towards the top end of the range, but market forces took it almost 15% over.
What, Philip?
Which goes to show how, Gary, this market has just changed. People night and day.
Are
chalk
allowed
and cheese
to get a premium for their properties.
They are.
We are allowed to sell properties for a premium without getting attacked. It happened to me at an auction as well. And we're going to hear a lot more of those uneducated people, and I don't say that in a nasty way, but people are uneducated to say when things are over a premium, they were underquoted.
I believe you were accosted, Gary,
I
at
was
one of our auctions.
accosted at one of our auctions. Someone said, "Oh, you're really underquoting." And I said, "Well, look, the vendors quoted a range. They were prepared to sell in the range. The reserve was in the range. They're allowed to get more than the range and get a premium. And our job is to, in fact, get a premium." So
I think the definition of underquoting viewers should be this. If an agent advertises a property in the range and then passes the property in over the top of the range, wait for it, and then has a significantly higher reserve, the public think that's underquoting. There might be an absolute legal reason or a change in circumstances, but I think, viewers, one thing that you've got to understand is that if a property goes on the market and sells for massively over the range, that's market forces at play.
And I think,
and skill.
And I'm happy for viewers to be aware. Did you do that auction? Did you?
Skill.
Presumably, yes, your skill. People should be aware that our vendors have indicated every time that they will consider the auction selling in the range that we market in. It is part of our process, so be aware of that.
One interesting thing, and just for the record, Gary,
is it going to be interesting?
Just no, I promise. Okay. So here's a situation. We have, let's just use this as an example. We're quoting $1 to $1.1 million. The vendor has expressed interest in selling in that range. Literally, let's say the auction was on a Sunday, but on a Saturday a property round the corner sells for 1.2 as a result of a heated auction.
Similar to this.
That's right, and the vendor says to us on auction day, you know what? I've changed my mind. I've seen the market go up. If they got 1.2 around the corner, I now want 1.2. And that's where all of this grey, the shades of grey, nothing is black and white ever, Gary. There's shades of grey. 50 Shades of Grey
sexy. Isn't that a sexy
50
film?
Shades of Grey. Did you ever see that movie?
So how is that a sexy story?
Getting back to some of the results that we had across the weekend, Younger Avenue was an incredible result. We also had a very good result at Newland Street.
Undisclosed, Philip.
Undisclosed.
We're expecting the range there.
How about this, Gary? 12 months ago, there would have been 20 people at that auction.
Irene, can you have another word with him to let him get their word in?
At this auction would have been 100 people, 5 people bidding in and above the range.
It was, Philip. We were expecting $1.50 million to 1.15. Suffice to say, it sold for way above that.
Excess of the range.
In fact, the second bid was already over the reserve and over the range.
Yeah.
That was quite extraordinary, Phil. Younger Avenue was terrific. Graham Callan did a great job in Koonang Road, Carnegie, Philip, selling that for $827,000. We're selling properties all across the board in all sorts of different price ranges.
Still very strong. Viewers, still some time to get in for the spring selling season. Although during the week, we signed up a number of auctions for February and March.
We did, Philip. Some people are saying, look, if we can get my price now, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to go to the market in the new year. Hey, what about Aruna Road selling? The price is undisclosed, I know.
It is.
But what was the statement of information
the
price
statement
guide?
of information on that, Gary, was $5 to $5.5 million.
Okay.
Price is undisclosed.
Yes.
Sold it to a lovely, lovely family. And
Congratulations.
And it's wonderful because this house was built I think 29 years ago for a lovely family.
Yes.
So we talk about generational...
Goes from one lovely family to
we talk about generational change. They've sold it. They've passed the baton on to another lovely family.
Congratulations.
Who hopefully will not stay in the property for 29 years. We'd love you to just move on after 3. Now, it is the sort of house, Gary, that you'll stay a lifetime.
You've hit a very sensitive topic, Philip. Sensitive topic. The average of how long people stay. And here's this article, Phil. It was in the paper.
Right.
Not for sale. Australians are holding on to their properties for longer.
That's terrible.
They're very selfish people.
Stop seeing so happy in your home.
Exactly. Well, here's the worst part of the whole story, Phil. Because
the story gets worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll tell you how. Because all of the suburbs were listed, right?
Yes.
Glen Ira in Australia is the 16th most tightly held suburb in Australia, average 15.1 years.
You know, people living in Glen Ira,
years.
You need to have a good, hard look at yourself. We've got expenses.
I know. My wife shops, our kids spend, the electricity is expensive. 15 years, 15.1 year on average in Willowra.
Speaking of electricity being expensive, you know what I want to have on the show?
People.
I want to have somebody that is a solar energy consultant come on to the show, because this is becoming more and more of an issue. And now that we've got all of the battery storage, which has long been the Achilles heel, Gary, Achilles heel of solar, now that we're linking it up to battery, I think we need to get an expert on the show, because I think our viewers are fascinated by converting their homes from, coal-fired generators to clean energy.
Are there any coal-fired generators around?
Oh, there are. They're closing them down, Gary, but still fossil fuels remain an integral part of our supply chain. That's gone completely over your head. Did you understand anything I just said?
No, I was thinking about the races, Phil. In fact, talking about the races, Order of Command comes back to the race course this Saturday at Caulfield. So I know I've tipped it before, and people have said to me, I heard you tip your horse and I bet on it. I'd say it's good each way bet first up, Philip.
Really?
Order of Command on Saturday at Caulfield. And of course, its little brother, Order of Fury, actually won last week.
Do you own Order of Fury?
I have a share in it, just like I have a share in Order. Well, we bred it. Not personally, but we actually bred we're the breeders and owners of the mother, Philip. So we own Order of Command.
So you were there at conception, were you, Gary?
We were there, it was a beautiful moment. And now I've got the little sister, Order of Angels.
It's not done that way in breeding.
Order of Angels.
Gary.
No, you don't have the soft water and Barry White
Barry White in the background.
Playing soft music.
No.
Anyway, Order of Command, there's my tip, Philip, for this week. And
don't
I'll bring
put
some
your
tips.
house on. Actually, put your house on it.
Yeah, if you're in Glenira, put your house on it. We need you to sell it. Phil, should we talk about the auctions coming up? Because we've babbled on
Gary.
We haven't put the towers up. That's very strategic.
Well, viewers, draw your own conclusion. If it's a tower-free episode, draw your own conclusion.
We won't talk about, in the interest of transparency, not putting up the towers. Anyway, let's talk about the auctions, Philip. We've got 16 auctions over 10 suburbs. I see you using your technology there to great advantage. Yep. We start off in Quinns Road. You ain't seen nothing like the mighty Quinn, Phil. And we're in Quinns Road.
Shout out to the developer of that property who's done a beautiful job there. Yep. And that part of Bentley near GSAC. Yep. What a great place to live, because you've got Centre Road shops on your doorstep, but you've got the whole GSAC experience right there, let alone some of the best schools, and of course the hospital. Should you pay too much at the auction,
you can go and get a respirator from there. Phil, you've only got one auction. It's not at 10:30. My auction's at 10:30. I've only got the one. I'm in Stewart Street, Ormond, Philip. This is a wonderful period-style home.
It is.
It's a Californian bungalow, Philip. It's in good order, but could be further renovated or improved. Some people are looking at the development opportunities, but I actually love this property.
Got a lot to get through.
I'm excited about it, Philip. I have to stop and talk about 37 Stewart Avenue or Stewart Street, because it is an outstanding property in Ormond coming up this Saturday. Be there at 10:30. I'm the auction
Avenue, Gary, in Glen Huntley, which is a great location.
I can tell you about that.
Well, you're going to. You're on a roll,
I'm on
Gary.
a roll, Phil. You can't stop me now.
No.
You can't get Sally just take over and push me out of the screen every week, Phil.
I tell you, if you stay like this, Gary, you might become my favourite anchor.
Oh, thanks a lot, Phil. 11:30 Horson Avenue. You're going to do the auction. I'm going to be there. This is a fantastic home, Philip. I love the swimming pool in the back, but love the renovation. There's nothing to spend here, Philip. We've got 3+ bedrooms. We've got beautiful, stunning bathrooms. The kitchen, Phil, is one of the best you'll ever see.
You won't have anything to spend by the time I'm finished with it.
Exactly right. No, this is a beautiful home, Philip, and we're looking forward to that 11:30.
Okay, move it on,
a
Gary.
Magnificent home. Philip, there's triple auction action. We're going to be in Linda Street. Jeremy Rosen's auction is this for Glenn Bricker. Tell us about it.
Well, Gary, you can't beat a property like this in Linda Street. No. It's been beautifully done.
You don't want to beat it.
And walking distance to Cafe Delish and Fresh and Mr. Brightside, let alone Princess Park. So go to all of those three things. Go for a walk around the park before you go home to your beautiful Linda Street.
Yes, Philip Tucker Road, Bentley is Simon Rodolnik's second auction. He's doing more auctions than any of us on Sunday.
He is a busy
boy. He's a good auctioneer, as I keep saying, and we know that. But Tucker Road, Bentley, Philip, a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom, but 3 car space property. It's been handled by Simon Rodolnik. He's looking forward to doing the auction at 11:30 a.m.
It's a good mix of properties on Saturday, Gary. But Sunday, look at the list for Sunday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow.
Well done, you got there, Phil. We've got double auction action at 10:30. We're going to be in Anderson Street, Phil. Leo Samuel auctions this terrific property. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Looking forward to that. And Phil, we've got double auction action. We're in Beresford Street, and Jeremy Rosen's at auction.
How much do I love Beresford Street? Viewers, tiny little street, beautifully located, and some premier homes in that street.
There is, Philip, and this is a beauty in Beresford Street.
Stop looking down, Gary, and try to look into the camera.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Phil, 4 at 1:30 increment is my first auction, and it's an interesting story, this property, Philip, because I don't often get to say this, but I actually used to own that apartment together with my friend Teo Marinacci. We own that property. property together.
We did.
We sold it to these people many years ago. And what a fantastic apartment this is, Philip. It's in a beautiful block. It's not far from the P&O Highway, close to all the action. It's got a great floor plan. Should never have sold it, but I'm going to be selling it for these people.
So
11:30 on Sunday.
Viewers, if you want to know what an estate agent and his mates buy, they made the tragic mistake of selling it, of course. But if you want to see something that they used to own, come along and have a look at what good real estate looks like.
Come and buy what we would buy.
The Aldi supermarket is across the road, Gary. So if you bid at this auction, pay too much, you'll be able to make it up.
Is it German-owned, Aldi?
It is German-owned, absolutely.
Yeah, das ist schön, Aldi.
So Aldi and Kaufland is also coming to... Kaufland is coming to Australia, Gary.
What is Kaufland?
Kaufland is another German supermarket. What are the Germans, in all seriousness, what do they know about supermarkets?
They make cars. What are they, supermarkets?
I don't quite get that, but anyway, two of the biggest supermarket operators in the world.
Go over, say Guten Tag and das ist schön, and you'll be on your way. Philip, 318 Orrong Road is a great address. Jeremy Rosen's auctions this particular property. Tell us a little bit about it.
Gary, this is the property that's handled by Ben Rothschild, a single-storey villa on the corner of Whitehall Court.
It is indeed.
Great location. Whitehall Court, if you've never been down there, it was a development that took place back in the 60s. And it's really well located and really good property.
One of our 3 auctions, Philip, and the third auction is in Westbury Street. Leo Samuel, I haven't seen your name here doing an auction yet.
No, but don't worry, they'll wind me out.
I'm sure they will. Westbury Street, 1 at 46 Westbury Street. Did you tell me just pop out there? It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1-car space, great looking block in a wonderful location. Philip, we've got triple auction action at 12:30. Phil, we are going to be wheeling you out. You're right. We can't keep you at home on a Sunday. You wouldn't know what to do. You just drive the family mad. At 12:30, we're going to be at 102. Balaclava Road, Caulfield North.
Gary, shout out to the developer there that has brought this new building to the market. It is incredible. Even if you're not interested in buying a ground floor luxury apartment, and why you wouldn't be interested, I've got no idea. Come along and have a look at this because it is beautiful.
And just up the road around the corner, Jeremy Rose is auctioning this wonderful property, Philip, in Orrong Road, 4215 Orrong Road, St Kilda East. We've sold this property once before as well.
Yes.
And it's situated in a magnificent building at the back.
Tudor style, perhaps?
Stunning.
English style, I would
English
say,
style,
not Tudor.
stunning property, Philip.
Gorgeous gardens
Be there
in front.
at 12:30. Yes, they are gorgeous gardens. And just across the road there from Melbourne Grammar, Phil.
Yes.
Or
near there, not across the road.
Oh, pretty close. Phil, I am going to be in Payne Street, making a paint of myself with all of the people interested because it's a popular property. And I love these villas
go through this.
How hot are villas right now?
They are absolutely,
off the charts, aren't they?
And that price range, which is kind of $650 through to
$620 to
$900,000, those villas represent a great opportunity because generally they're designed well, but you can bring them into the 21st century with
this
an
building,
easy renovation.
It's a terrific development. We've got a friend of ours, Sandy, who's on the board of the Owners Corporation, who's a lovely lady who'll welcome you into the building when you buy in there in Payne Street. Meet me and Maxine there at 12:30. Our third auction, Philip. We've got double auction action at 1:30. We're going to be back in Balaclava Road. You know how far to go for it. 327 in Balaclava Road. You're going to be meeting Glenn, and Glenn said to me, "I can't believe how good this property is."
Well, you can't believe also that he might have sold it prior to auction, viewers. So stay tuned for that one. We'll let you know.
Okay, Philip. We're going to be in Charnwood Road at the same time. It doesn't look like we've sold this one before auction at 1:30 p.m. Phil. What a great looking building and apartment.
They don't get any better looking than this, Gary, but that is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, an extra large apartment, so bigger than the normal apartments.
Only one auction at 2:30. You may say no way, but I'm saying yes way, and I'm saying it's at Winston Way. Find your way to Winston Way. Philip, you're doing this 2:30 auction.
What a beautiful home, Gary. Single-storey home, which is pretty hard to find. Very low maintenance, but actually really large inside. Yes. So it's got that classical neo-Georgian look, and it has been looked after by the man that's selling it just impeccably. So hardly a chip or scratch. Best floor plan, big entertaining areas. Looking forward to that auction, Gary.
If you have a big win on order of command on Saturday, you can come and put a deposit down and buy that. Although Damien Oliver's been suspended, Phil, he's not riding the horse. Big controversy there. Phil.
What's the controversy? Just out of interest?
He's just been. He is the jockey of that horse. He won't let anyone else on it. But now he's been scratched himself.
Why?
For a week because he did something naughty, pushed out another horse, or did something that he shouldn't have done. He broke the rules.
Jockeys, they're a law unto themselves.
They do it, don't they, Phil? They try too hard. Sometimes they get in trouble. It's like agents. We try too hard. We push, and sometimes we get in trouble.
Push the boundaries.
But that's what's happening in real estate, Philip. It's good to be back on the show for a week. I'll leave you again next week for a couple of days, as you know. But it's good to be back on GPTV, bringing all the real estate news of what's going on in the market from the clueless agents that we are. I'm
bringing all that US energy with you, Gary.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Thanks, viewers, for watching. My name's Philip Kingston. Have a great week.
Bye now.